There once was a pod called the Over Manga Cast, who set sail for the greatest adventure. Before they began their longest journey, this was what they left behind. We're embarking after the fabled treasure, but you'll need to follow in our wake. We're reading One Piece by Eiichiro Oda, chapters 1-7. Ever since, the listeners stayed tuned to see if the host's dreams came true. Yo! Hello everyone and welcome back to the Over Manga Cast. My name is Sam, and as always, here at the top of the show, we talk about what our familiarity with the franchise that we read this week is. This franchise is 2 decades old, so
Oh my god, it is.
Yep.
My history with One Piece is fairly minimal. I had watched the much controversial dub on 4Kids back in the day. I had seen up to what was the arc with Crocodile? I think that's Alabasta. I had seen up to that and then lost track of it for whatever reason. And I don't think I had even seen every episode of that whole bit of the run. I remember missing an episode and getting really confused on where Kobe went. Jay, how about you?
Similarly, I started out back in the day with One Piece. I don't even recall how far into the show I even got. I decided pretty early on it just was not for me, and I'll leave it at that. Though through cultural osmosis, there's a trend. I have, picked up little bits about the plot and characters and whatnot. I know it's very popular. Just my little bit of exposure did not sell me on this franchise. Sorry. Sorry, not sorry.
How about you, Jacob?
My experience with One Piece, it was a big shonen at a time when I was really starting to get into anime as a whole. I watched what I could catch on TV. This was, of course, at first with the 4Kids dub. And I do recall seeing the Funimation dub that came out afterward. I remember distinctly the dude with the vague cat theming and the sword fingers, he had gloves with swords on each finger.
Yeah, Captain Kuro.
And I didn't even remember his name, because the thing I distinctly remember is that they had him pushing up his glasses in a particular way that was, behoovant to him having the sword gloves. And I thought that was clever and well put together. It's something that I've always wanted to get into, but it's 1,000 chapters long and still going.
And Matt.
So One Piece, this was called?
Yes.
I can't say I'm familiar at all.
By Eiichiro Oda.
Oh. Eiichiro Oda, you say? Yeah, no, it was really interesting reading for this. No, I'm kidding. I am pretty close to up to date with. So I'm an anime only with One Piece. I've tried to read the manga several times, but man, before the Shonen Jump app, was that really hard?
100 volumes and counting.
So one thing I will say about One Piece, it's not a great value for buying a volume of it. Especially if these first couple of arcs, good money, and then I'm blanking on the Fire Ice Island, but that one is not a good value per volume.
Yeah, I can imagine that a volume covers such a small slice.
Yeah, Punk Hazard is the arc where the volumes start being not great. I own a bunch of One Piece physical volumes too, because I bought someone who's getting rid of them. I bought a bulk amount from them. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I love One Piece. I love One Piece so much. I think we talked about it in one of our discussion eps. How much I love One Piece. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I also. Hey, guess what? It hasn't been on the show because it's 1,000 chapters long. So it's hey, little secret. It's the same reason we find it so hard to do more of Hero Aka, because realistically, the way our show works, we will never catch up.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a bit of a tall ask right there.
As shown by this episode, by golly, we're gonna try. Just don't hold your breath.
But yeah, I gotta say, rereading the first arc, despite the fact as an anime-only watcher, this arc, specifically the first Romance Dawn section, they sure love reanimating that repeatedly. But it's really good, and it's really funny to reread a bunch of this, considering what the modern power scaling is for a lot of things, and for a lot of decisions they've decided with Luffy's character that I'm not happy with. But at me on Twitter, we'll fight about it there.
Yeah, I have some working knowledge of what modern One Piece is like, mostly just because I follow enough anime and manga analysis people who have talked about it that I have a vague understanding of what goes on.
People who make their entire living off of discussing manga rather than actually doing something creatively fulfilling are the worst.
I agree.
Mhm.
Those people are degenerates, all 4 of them.
Anyway, we do open up with the execution of the Pirate King.
Good, he deserves it.
Gold Roger, who, smiling broadly on the execution platform, says that he has left his treasure out there to be found, and you will need to search the whole world for it. And beginning the great era of piracy.
Before they hung him from the gallows. What about those 2 people with swords? Shut up!
Given what I've come to understand about powerful characters in this franchise, they probably did not want to like leave any room for doubt. They probably hung him, stabbed him, shot him.
Oh no, he's being decapitated. The 4Kids dub changes the intro to be before they hung him from the gallows.
Yeah.
I remember that.
While he's surrounded by 2 people with executioner's blades, like, yeah, I guess hung him from the gallows, sure.
And then, of course, the infamous pirate rap. But
I unironically love the pirate rap.
I'm glad I'm not the only one.
It is very cool.
I love it because it's insane and stupid, but
it's a dumb fun, you know, which is quite frankly what it was going for. 4Kids isn't incompetent at what they do. They're just bad people.
See, my favorite part of the pirate rap was every time a new crew member was added, them needing to increasingly shoehorn in a mention of that crew member into the
I love when they got to Sanji and Chopper. It ends up like I'm gonna really date myself on this, but Gilligan's Island famously had "and the rest" for like 2 of the cast members for most of the show's run until it went to color, and I was like, and the Professor and Mary Ann, and it just like is shoved into "and the rest," and you're like, oh, so you could have named them this entire time.
But yes, after the execution of Gold Roger, we find ourselves in a small village that has become the base of a pirate ship, and we are introduced to the man who will be our main character,
Shanks.
Red-haired Shanks. No, Monkey D. Luffy.
He then proceeds to stab himself in the face. No, I'm not kidding.
I love how Oda was basically like, hold on, you should be worried when you're writing things for children. You shouldn't do anything they can imitate at home. And then Oda's just like, nah, that kid's gonna stab himself in the face.
Because Luffy, small boy, big lust for adventure, wants to become a pirate. So he positions himself on the figurehead of the ship and is going to prove how tough he is by stabbing himself, which is how he gets that
in the face.
Yeah,
I want to stress this. He stabs himself literally in the face.
Yeah, because scars are cool.
Definitely written for boys.
And that is how he gets the iconic scar under his eye.
From having watched the anime, I know about the gum fruit means you can't swim. I thought he had already eaten it, and
that's why he had the anchor shirt.
That's why he had the anchor shirt.
They just need to let everyone else know. Like, hold on, that kid sinks. Don't
Don't let him on the boat. This jolly group of plunderers is led by red-haired Shanks, a boisterous pirate with a straw hat who just really likes taunting Luffy.
Who can blame him? He's so tauntable. So impressionable.
Look, kid, you're too much of a dumb little kid to go on this pirate adventure. I'm not taking you.
You're like 5. It would be abuse.
I'm not some little kid. All right, well, here, you thirsty? We're at this bar. Have a glass of milk. Oh boy, thanks. See what I mean? A pirate wouldn't drink milk.
Little did they know, a pirate would drink milk.
My God.
But as they're sitting around and just having a good old time in the bar, Shanks telling Luffy that, look, kid, you're too young, but when you're old enough, you can go on and have fun voyages of your own. Some mountain bandits kick in the door and begin.
The natural enemy of pirates, mountain bandits.
Mm-hmm.
They're literally opposites.
Yes. It's gorgeous.
From their secret mountain village hidden in some leaves or something.
But they show up demanding free booze. Unfortunately, the pirates have already drank the place dry. But Shanks is like, hey, we've still got some bottles to spare. You want to share? Here, have this one. And the guy takes the bottle and breaks it over his head.
You don't understand. It's the principle.
Oh, look, you made a mess.
Shanks is just like, but booze. Aw.
You wasted the booze.
It's not about the booze. It's about the control I can have with the booze. You've taken that from me.
Now Mikino's got to clean this up. Like, come on, I'll do it. Like,
and this guy's just continuing to be a brash asshole to Shanks.
The guy is obviously trying to start a fight with Shanks, and Shanks is just... He does this guy is so beneath me, I'm going to pretend he's not here, basically. Shanks does not care.
Chase does not care. He's just like, wow, that guy was a real asshole, huh?
Yeah, the second the dude leaves, his crew just makes fun of him, going like, man, that guy really just beat you up, Shanks. Like, what's that about? He's like, yeah, man, I look like a real wuss. Oh, well, you guys want to go back to drinking as if nothing happened? Yeah, that sounds great.
Let's do it. And meanwhile, Luffy is not having any of it because he's got a young boy's understanding of macho and demands to know why Shanks didn't fight the guy. And Shanks is just like, look, kid, when you're older, you'll understand. Needless killing and violence doesn't make you a man. I'm going to go find a real role model.
Yeah.
I love that line.
I love Shanks right here because he's a man who's seen the world and he's come back and he's just like, yeah, I'm stronger than that dude, but am I going to murder someone over like spilling some alcohol on me? That's insane. Like,
seems completely logical at the time. You disgraced your honor.
I'm a pirate. Honor means literally nothing. It's something people get killed over. Like, it doesn't matter.
It's impractical, and besides, I'd rather them just leave thinking I'm weak, and then I can go back to drinking and having fun.
So here's a little secret. If people who are your enemies think you're weak, then you have the upper hand. I don't like
exactly.
Pirates cheat.
Yeah, like that guy's never gonna consider Shanks to be like a threat, and that means Shanks can just mollywop him if need be.
That's another thing I really like about this like opening section. It really does a lot to go out of its way to establish this is a shonen action series, but the heroes are pirates. And what does that mean? That means they aren't like goody two-shoes heroes who are going to like do everything for everything. Like they care about things they care about, but also they'll lie, they'll cheat, they'll steal. We'll see later. They'll drastically overcompensate strength. Like they're not going to do like a Goku, like let's fight on equal footing. Like that is not their interest at all.
Yeah, because they're not out for a good fight. They're out to be pirates.
Yeah, they're out to get treasure, drink booze, party hard. Like, they are terrible role models for children, which is why this story starts with a kid stabbing himself in the face.
There's a metaphor in here somewhere.
As Luffy is storming off to go find a better role model, Shanks takes him by the hand, like, hold on a second, where are you going? And Luffy's arm stretches like taffy.
A real Bugs Bunny moment, which it's like, oh, is that the shonen art style? Next panel, your arm is stretching. What's going on? Like they know what's going on immediately.
Actually, I'm surprised it took them this long.
Yeah, it's Luffy that is concerned and confused.
Look, I gotta say, as an anime watcher, this first section, the pacing was just amazing because it just keeps going. Whereas I'm used to being split up over 3 episodes normally.
Oh, geez.
One Piece for a long time was glacially paced, and then it kind of still is, but you know.
Well, the anime and the manga are basically in sync right now, as far as I'm aware. So.
Yeah, Wano had a really bad time where, like, literally they were covering half a chapter an episode for a little bit.
Ooh,
wow, that's Dragon Ball but worse. Ouch.
It was pretty bad. They fixed it for a bit, but
but yes, Luffy ate the gum fruit that they had, and I loved you could actually see the panel where he's doing that because he's just eating everything in front of him. He's a hungry boy. He's a shonen protag. He's just munching on it like nothing happened.
Really, and the neglect was whoever was supposed to be guarding that fruit. It's on them.
So yeah, that's the big thing. Is this is a super valuable fruit?
How is Luffy able to just grab it?
Because they drunk and there's a lot of power scaling questions to ask.
I'm sure that won't come up later.
This is fine. He's just made out of rubber and can't swim.
How did that happen?
Yo ho ho! He took a bite of gum.
Ah, okay, that explains it all. Thank you.
Yeah yo.
I couldn't.
My favorite bit is how he kind of just offhandedly mentions, yeah, the fruit didn't taste that good, though. It's kind of weird. When every other time someone eats a devil's fruit in this manga, they violently yak up as if they've just consumed literal poison. Like,
because he's a child.
He's just like, ew, that was kind of gross, but whatever.
Which is concerning because aren't children supposed to be more susceptible for things that are
wrong? Yeah, taste is more extreme the younger you are.
It's Luffy. I don't know.
It is a shonen protagonist.
Yeah.
I can totally see Luffy just taking a bite out of it, being like, nah, that's not great. But it's not
gonna it though.
It'd be a shame to not finish it, you know. So, an indeterminate amount of time passes. Luffy is now the rubber boy.
The mayor is very displeased in his adulation of the pirates.
His piratical ambitions. But Luffy is by himself hanging out at the bar with the barkeep when the mountain bandits show up again. And because Luffy is an idiot boy who can't leave well enough alone, picks a fight with them.
Well, yeah, because he's got that whole, like, I need to defend my honor. I need to defend the honor of my town. Like, you don't get to talk bad to me. This is all about reputation. And he gets that beaten out of him real quick.
Yeah.
Well, actually, no, he's very stubborn, but...
Well, he's a child.
Yeah.
They're certainly trying to beat it out of him.
Unfortunately.
But he's rubber.
Yeah. I'm rubber, you're glue.
I have a sword. Wait a minute.
I'm rubber, you're glue. You're armed and can very easily kill me. Oh, no.
Well, then kill me. I'd rather die a man of principles. What?
Thankfully, Shanks happens to walk back in at this point and is just chatting up, having a good old time, acting like it's just an average Tuesday. One of the mountain bandits puts a gun to his head, and he's like, yeah, it's pretty unsafe to point guns at people, as one of his pirates has snuck up behind him and shoots the man in the fucking head.
I love this scene, because this is Shanks, the direct opposite of what he was earlier about, like, a bottle of booze isn't worth someone's life. Mm-hmm. And this is, hey, I'd recommend you don't do that. You're going to die. What? And then that dude just dies. Like,
mm-hmm. And he's still got the same, like, very calm, very relaxed grin on his face. Like, I think the like most intense Shanks looks is he gets some, like, cross hatching on his face, but he never kind of loses that grin. It's very unsettling.
Well, it's because he's reminded of a childlike version of himself. He actually states as much. So it's like, I remember what I was like at that age, silly boy.
Yeah, and I mean the reason why Shanks and the other pirates have escalated at this point is because it's already come to blows. So yeah, there's only one way that this is going to go now.
Like material things, easy enough to replace. Money's comes and goes, but like, don't threaten my friends.
You're threatening the life of this child who is my friend. I'm not. That's two things I'm not going to forgive. And I love his first mate, long hair man, is especially brutal. One of the bandits charges him with a sword. He puts his cigarette out in the bandit's eye, and then rather than firing his gun, he swings it like a baseball bat and knocks out 3 others. Like, this guy's rad. They're so busy like posing up and being cool, and
I love that.
The mountain bandit drops a smoke bomb and absconds and takes Luffy with him, and Shanks is like, oh no, we messed around too much and let him escape! Ah!
He just immediately breaks kayfabe.
We were too busy being cool, damn it!
Luffy gets taken by the bandit onto the water out in a little dinghy. He kicks Luffy over the side since he's no good as a hostage anymore. And because he is cursed by the devil's fruit, he cannot swim. Thankfully, though, Karma shows up in the form of a giant sea monster that immediately destroys the dinghy and swallows the bandit whole.
When an eel bites your thigh and you bleed out and die, that's amore.
Another thing, this sea creature just immediately sparked like Flotsam and Jetsam like vibes in my head, and I'm just am I kidding? Are you kidding, Little Mermaid?
No, the one where he snaps at Luffy, like that panel in particular, looks a lot like either Flotsam or Jetsam from Little Mermaid.
It all comes together. It's a full circle, man.
But right before the big eel can then eat Luffy, Shanks appears and gets him out of the way of the bite and glares down the eel to the point where it's like, I'm done with this guy, and leaves. And it's
which is doubly impressive because we learned Shanks comforts Luffy, but we learned that there was a cost to this, which Shanks doesn't care.
The big monster bit off Shanks' arm when he was getting Luffy out of there.
Like up to the shoulder. Like, it's an insane amount of arm to lose.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand how you grabbed Luffy with the arm and then lost most of that arm. Like,
me neither. But
it's a really cool scene.
Mm-hmm. And that's
he was probably he grabbed Luffy with one arm and was pushing like swimming away with the other.
It's romantic in a way.
It's romance dawn.
It is the dawn of romance.
After that, the pirates decide that it's time for them to head out, and they're still not bringing Luffy along.
Because he is still a small child.
Mm-hmm. And Luffy declares very boldly that he is going to become the king of the pirates.
You know what? I'm pretty sure you will. Just not as a 5-year-old.
And using his one remaining arm, Shanks takes off his straw hat and puts it on Luffy's head and says, when you're a great pirate, give this back to me. In the panel that I know they love coming back to the well for that one in the anime too, Matt.
Oh, they show that panel so many times.
It's like the henshin. You got to show it at least once every episode.
Yes.
No, it's more like the swing in Naruto.
Yeah.
I know what you mean.
Something emotional happens. You either get the swing or you get the straw hat scene.
Wait, what do you mean the only way this works is if the entire village constantly bullies my child now that I'm dead? Shut up.
I'm sorry. Dare I say, this is part of the reason why it resonated better with me than One Piece. I was that person.
I'm saying Naruto has an equally weird kind of retroactive, wait, no, the beginning doesn't make sense anymore.
Just from what I understand of what Shanks' theoretical power level should be, the bite from that big eel thing should not have done that to him.
So, considering next chapter we see 15 or 16-year-old Luffy, I forget. He might be 17, actually.
It's 10 years after the
He's
initial
protagonist teen.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah, I forget, because he gets an actual age announced. Spoiler alert, that's a time skip at some point, but there's a 2-year time skip, and that makes him 19, I think. So I think he's 16 at the start, ages up to 17 at some point, and then
Mhm.
I don't know. I'm probably completely wrong, and someone who actually knows what they're talking about is furiously typing in the comments right now, and I'm like, good, we need the engagement. I'll continue to make errors that annoy you.
Yes.
Well, it's not like I've ever made any factual errors in statements I've made.
No. You know what we should really do is just constantly say the wrong genre for shonen versus seinen versus
Yeah,
'cause, man, every time we mess that up, I'm informed.
just so the pedants can get at us and drive that free engagement.
Until they finally catch on, they're just like, no, I'm not going to take the beat.
I get it. It's not a seinen, but I'm sorry.
I'm not.
Anyway, now at appropriate sets out on adventure age, Luffy sails away in a little dinghy. The sea monster shows up, and we get our first Gum super move, the Gum Pistol.
Yes. Right to the face.
It is.
Kind of like the kisser.
One thing that I like about it is I didn't know this because I feel like in the times I watched the One Piece anime, I might have missed the first apparently 3 episodes.
No, so here's the thing. The One Piece anime starts with the next arc and flashes back to Child Luffy.
Oh, so that's why I missed this, because I actually really like I never got the origin of why his like main attack is Gum Pistol, but like the comment that he makes about my punch is as strong as a pistol, and that being why, that's clever, that's cute, I like that.
Now it is his move as he flattens the sea monster and sends it on its way.
Yeah, so 16-year-old Luffy one-shots this monster that bit off Shanks' arm, so keep that in mind for the next... God, I think it's literally 600 chapters later.
So, does Shanks have a devil fruit power?
My boy's swimming.
That true. Okay, yeah, you know what? You're right.
So here's the thing, and this is gonna sound like a weird statement, but specifically in the first chapter, in this like first long pilot extended chapter, there isn't a lot of supernatural stuff going on. The eel is massive, absolutely massive, and there's the gum fruit, but like that's a exaggerated creature and a protagonist special boy power. It doesn't feel like there should be power scaling in a manga like this. Luffy is just weird. Like, he's the unique one is the way that it's setting it up. So it doesn't feel weird that Shanks getting bitten in the arm by a gigantic animal would be in any way problematic. I just know One Piece goes full shonen really fast, and it doesn't take long for us to get there.
It kind of almost gets there in what we read.
Yeah. Yeah, it's we start to see that mostly in the antagonist of this, but also of another character we're introduced to. But yeah,
We'll get there.
It gets exponential because it's like it starts creeping in slowly, and then boom, we're neck deep in it.
Might say we're drowning in it. But yes, I love the opening of chapter 2. As if chapter 1 didn't do enough to just immediately establish Luffy's character. The chapter 2 opening really does, because it's Luffy reclining in his little dinghy, like, the weather's so beautiful today. Who'd have thought this voyage would end in disaster so soon? With a big grin on his face, page turn, whirlpool.
Oh, well, I messed up.
Too bad I can't swim. I mean, if it was a whirlpool anyway, I guess it really wouldn't have mattered if I could swim or not. Anyway, down we go. I love this guy.
Luffy is very much a like shonen protagonist TM, but he is one of the glorious examples of this character archetype being done exactly right. Unflappable, charming.
Is he charming? He just screams chaos to me.
Well, he's the lessons Shanks said to heart. Like, he doesn't let anything really get him down. He's really just in it to be as free as possible. And he wants to be king of the pirates because that is a cool dream to have. Like,
yeah, dream big. Yeah. Like being down about that, it's not productive. It doesn't help him get out of the situation.
He's got a sort of like infectious positivity about him. And I think that's part of what draws so many people rapidly into his orbit.
My favorite part about chapter 2, it introduces like one of my favorite parts of One Piece as a whole, which is incredibly elaborate figureheads and ridiculous pirate flags.
Yeah.
Very much so.
I mean, the pirate flags we've seen up to this point are pretty in lockstep with Golden Age of Piracy flags. Those got really elaborate.
Yeah, like this one, the skull and crossbones. The skull is in profile with a heart in it.
I think it's one of the only flags like that because I think past this, they try and keep the straw hat flag, which you see on the cover page of this chapter, which is very iconic with the big circle, the big smiling tooth thing. And then they kind of just modify that for other flags.
But we are introduced to our villain for this arc with a hand testing the dust on a ship and finding a bit of dust and is like, this is unacceptable. Everything in my presence must shine, for I am the most beautiful pirate. You who failed in your duties at cleaning this ship will die. Kills him with a giant spiky mace thing.
I love how we're introduced to this person and their face is shown only their incredibly beautiful eyes and like the rest of their face is in shadow. But like just structurally, how the hair works, when we're revealed what she actually looks like, that's just a completely separate face.
The shape is wrong, yes.
Because the joke with Captain Alvida is that she considers herself very, very beautiful, but
she is not conventionally attractive, yes.
She is not conventionally attractive, yes, is the polite way to go about it.
If I were being gracious, I would assume that she somewhere she has a very nice heart or something.
No, I would she's an ugly person deep down, and unfortunately, I think that bubbles to the surface.
Yeah, because if you displease her even slightly, she takes her giant iron mace and murders the hell out of you.
That's where she gets her sobriquet, Iron Mace Alvida.
The lady pirate. And she has the cabin boy, Kobe. Kobe, yes. Who is this tiny nerd man, small boy, bowl cut glasses, like every nerd character who got wedgied and shoved into lockers in 80s high school movies.
Oh, that's me. That's not true. I didn't interact with enough people to get bullied.
I was gonna say, even you are nowhere near as spineless as Kobe is.
You know what? I will graciously accept that compliment. It's not a high bar, but I agree.
But some of his fellow pirates found a barrel that they think it must be full of rum. So let's go ahead and crack this cold one open with the boys, and no one's gonna tell the captain, right, Kobe? Right. Please don't hit me. But before they can go about tapping this keg, Luffy pops out of the top of it.
As you do.
As you do.
I love that he starts off by saying it was a great nap, and then, wow, I got really dizzy in there. You fell asleep in the barrel that you went into the whirlpool in, Luffy. That's not normal.
Luffy, you passed out. If it were anyone else, I'd be worried about brain damage.
And Luffy sees that he is surrounded by other people and goes, who the heck are you guys? Who the heck are you? You're the one who popped out of a barrel.
Which honestly is a fair question.
Tact right now.
Alvida hears all of this yelling and demolishes the entire outbuilding they were in with the mace, which sends Kobe and Luffy still in a barrel bouncing away. And the three other pirates there to take the blame. But before anything can come of that, Luffy and Kobe have a brief conversation where Kobe's like, yeah, so I made this little dinghy out of like spare driftwood I found. It looks more like a coffin. You don't need to be that blunt.
Yeah. So often recently we've been reading things and people are just aggressively blunt. I think it's a thing in manga.
You've been building that for 2 years? Wow, you wasted a lot of time.
Well, I wanted to use it to escape from Lady Alvida, but I'm so terrified of the prospect of her finding me again that I can't build up the courage to actually leave. Man, gutless and talentless as a shipwright, you really are worthless, aren't you?
I was looking to ask 10 people to be in my crew, and definitely not going to be you.
Oh man, Luffy proving he's a pirate by savagely murdering this person.
I need real hot shots if I'm going to become the king of the pirates. The king of the pirates? That means you're going after the One Piece. Yes.
Yes, I also read last chapter. We're on the same page.
That means they are literally on the same page. That means you're going after the title.
Yes.
I just said that. Wow, you're really proving I shouldn't have invited you to be in my crew. So really out here.
And Luffy's relentless optimism, delusion, both, just continues to not be blunted by Kobe's long string of denials saying how impossible it is. And Kobe's actually a little touched by Luffy's just inability to even care about the possibility of failure.
And Kobe has his own dream.
Mm-hmm.
He wants to join the Navy, which is a much simpler dream. Like, just ridiculously, they're constantly recruiting.
Yep. If I can join the Navy, then maybe I can capture bad guys, even ones like Alvida. And speak of the she-devil, and she appears.
Hold on, people talking shit about me. Then Luffy's just like, yeah, we were. What?
Who's this tough-looking old Betty?
Yeah, and Kobe, in what I think is meant to be conveyed as bravery, but strongly vibes with, I'm gonna just trust this guy who showed up. Goes, no, in fact, you're actually the ugliest captain I've ever seen.
Yeah, there's a level of, well, you're already gonna kill me, so either this guy is gonna save me or I'm gonna die saying what I always wanted to.
And as it turns out, Kobe is lucky because Luffy steps in and takes the blow of the Iron Mace and shrugs it off entirely because he's a rubber man.
We get established that the hat is apparently indestructible too because he is hit directly on top of the hat.
That is indestructible and immune to piercing damage until it's important for Luffy to have a rage moment in order to want to beat up the bad guy more.
It's Gwen Stacy's neck. His hat is Gwen Stacy's neck.
This hat is my most prized possession. Better block an attack with it.
And so after Luffy flattens Lady Alvida with a gum pistol, much to the shock of her entire terrified crew, says, all right, losers, you're going to give me a dinghy. Actually, you're going to give Kobe a dinghy, and I'm going to go with him. He's joining the Navy, and I need to get off this island. You all suck. With that, Kobe and Luffy set sail towards the nearest naval military base, which also happens to conveniently be where a potential new recruit to the Straw Hat Pirates can be found. The legendary, the powerful, the terrifying Roronoa Zoro.
That was Roronoa Zolo.
That's definitely what Shonen Jump wants you to think it is.
But before we go and meet everyone's favorite sword boy, let's take a quick break. And
it's quite a long journey to the next island. So
so go grab a bottle of rum, and we'll be back after this. And welcome back to the show, folks, where last we left our piratical friends on their merry voyage. Luffy still needs an actual crewman who isn't Kobe.
Hashtag not
Kobe
Kobe.
Kobe is not cool enough.
Hashtag never Kobe.
Hashtag never Kobe. I remember thinking he was going to be an important character when I was watching the anime, and then I missed an episode and he was gone. And I was like, what the hell?
He died.
I don't think that's true.
Very sad.
But,
Pointedly, because everyone flipped out later on that Kobe came back.
I love the fandom's response to no one is dead in One Piece unless they are explicitly mentioned to you as dead, and even then take that with a grain of salt.
Yep. But they arrive in town and go to get some food at a restaurant and are discussing their plans. And when Luffy mentions he's looking for Roronoa Zoro, the entire restaurant leaps up and slams against the wall like, oh no. It's like you said, Voldemort. Man, you should probably keep that name out of your mouth, Luffy. The people are jumpy about him. Anyway, I saw a poster that Captain Morgan runs the local naval base. Ah!
They get an even more extreme response for that one. Which, great.
That's not worrying at all.
I also can't help but notice, like, Captain Morgan, that's a pirate. Like, that's a very famous pirate.
Yes.
They knew what they were doing.
Captain Axe Hand Morgan.
That part is new.
A man who just creates more and more questions every time I read this arc.
I'm curious to hear some of those questions, but
Only if you have answers, Sam.
I can't guarantee that I do. But
Well, then to mix them up. That'd be fun.
Here on the Over Manga Cast, we make up all of the information about. We've never read any of these stories, literally any of them.
Axe Hand Morgan came down from Kami Tower, where he was trained in the ways of Senzu Beam revival. That explains why his power level gets reset because of Saiyan blood.
Yes, he got a Zenkai boost. But they arrive at the naval base, and Luffy goes and peers over the wall and sees the man who can only be Roronoa Zoro because
he's got a bandana.
More importantly, he's crucified.
Yeah, only Zoro could be actively crucified and still look that menacing.
I think being nailed to it is an important part of a crucifixion, but we'll.
And he's tied to the crossbar.
Hashtag not my savior.
And he sees Luffy peering over the wall and is like, hey, get over here and untie me. I've been here for 9 days. I'm starving. I think I'm also sweating blood. I'm not sure how that's happening. Or Luffy can go in and do that because Luffy's just a friendly guy. A small child climbs over the wall and goes to bring him some rice balls.
Her first attempt, by the way. So, I didn't taste them. And they might be horrible, but I spent a lot of time on them. And yeah, no pressure.
Oh my god, it's happening again.
Yes. No pressure, but you better eat my rice balls.
Hinata, when did you get in this manga? But Zoro, because he's a big tough guy who doesn't need to be saved by a little girl, tries to claim he's not hungry and scare her away. Also, probably more important, the fact that the Navy, 2 sailors are coming in, along with this asshole.
Hashtag that guy.
Hey, you be nice to Helmeppo. He did nothing wrong.
Wait, I'm sorry. That's actually his name?
Helmeppo?
Yeah. He's Captain Morgan's son.
Yes. So is it a combination? I was thinking it's helmet head and nepotism.
Well, I'm assuming whatever pun there'd be would be in Japanese, so I don't know. Actually,
He do got a helmet head, and he do got that nepotism.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
They occasionally you'll see English used.
I was about to say One Piece actually has a lot of English now that I said that out loud, because Luffy's name is just from like, oh crap, there's a nautical term that is similar, but I think that's actually just a coincidence. Oda said Oda's had a lot of answers for questions that I didn't feel the need to look up before we discussed this. We're not a One Piece podcast, and every time I get information wrong, someone leaves a comment.
So get more information wrong. Come on, get that.
Okay. So technically, right now we see the first instance of Luffy's Bankai. What we don't know is that it's secretly not really a Bankai. He's actually inhabited by a ninja spirit that secretly hates all pirates, and his real Bankai is what happens afterward.
I believe this.
So anyway, Helmeppo goes and bites into one of the rice balls, and it's like, you put sugar in it instead of salt, you idiot child. I'm gonna stomp on these now.
But I like sugar. I like sugar, so I thought I would put it on the rice ball. Make it
Rice balls are
better.
supposed to be savory, you idiot.
Because he needs to be as puppy kickingly evil as
We'll
as
get
he
there.
can be.
Well, but
We'll
he's
get there.
not. That's the thing. He's almost as puppy kicking as possible. He's just like, if you weren't a child, I'd have you killed. Throw her over the wall.
Well, yeah, I mean, they set it up like this is going to be the worst you're going to get, and then they managed to leave just enough space for the real arc antagonist to be worse.
Actually throw her over the wall. I thought they were just like drop her on. No, actually yeet her over the wall.
Actually, fucking yeet the child.
Thank goodness, like Luffy was on the other side. Jeez.
Mm-hmm.
I'm more surprised Luffy even cared.
That's what I mean.
Huh.
He strikes me as someone who's chaotic. Not exactly the most stable member leading your crew.
To be fair, this was a person who's capable of giving food to people, so Luffy was immediately like, hold on,
Yeah.
I've got a plan.
I'm I'm here. There is a small child being yote. I guess I'll get in the way of gravity.
Hold on. She might have more rice balls.
She might have more rice balls. And as is proven, Luffy does not necessarily have great taste in food. He just likes food. So, but we get more blathering from Helmeppo, who says that, yes, Zoro, according to our deal, if you stay on this crossbar for a whole month, we'll let you go.
Wow.
Zoro's like, yeah, I can do that. I'm tough guy.
What an insane deal to take. Like,
Yeah. An entire month with like, I'm assuming no water as well. No food or water. It's like, damn.
yeah, and do they mention the crime he's being accused of right now, or
They mention it a little later.
okay,
Mhm.
yeah, it's
It
dumb
doesn't
as
come from Nepo. It comes from what, the little girl, I think.
Yeah, it comes from the little girl when they're talking to her later.
Mhm.
Right now, we need to firmly establish Zoro as the Lancer of the group by revealing his heart of gold.
Yeah, because Luffy goes to talk to him and it's just like, hey, you want to join my pirate crew? I literally hunt pirates. Why would I become a pirate? But like you said, you had a dream, and I've got a dream, and I need a cool swordsman to be a part of my crew. Whatever. I'm sure he'll come around to it. Anyway, later.
He does this a lot.
Yes.
Luffy, I mean.
Yes.
He's got a captive audience. He's gonna try again later.
Yeah. Hey, wait, before you go, pick that up and feed it to me. You mean this sugar rice ball that is now mostly dirt? Yeah, feed it to me. I've been sitting here for 9 days. I will eat dirt. I'm fine with that.
Gotta
Also,
eat a little bit of dirt before you die.
but he devours the dirty stomped rice ball, and asks Luffy to go and tell the little girl that he ate it all and said it was delicious. And Luffy's like, hey, no, this guy's pretty cool. And then he goes and tells the kid that.
Turns out the kid's mom owns the restaurant too, so that really worked out for Luffy.
Really, that also really means that mom has her work cut out for her. This kid makes terrible food.
My plan paid off.
Mm-hmm.
She also heard the daughter made rice balls with sugar, and she's like, "You stupid child!
No daughter of mine.
Throw her over the wall!"
she just gets thrown over walls like a lot. Very airborne, this child. Very throwable.
The most throwable child in all of manga.
In all the seas.
Oh, don't say in all of One Piece. There are plenty of more throwable children.
Oh, buddy. They're so excited. What are they throwable?
Sometimes they throw those children very far.
Oh, what? Okay, then One Piece is the manga with the most throwable children.
Oh, I could probably find throwable children in another manga.
New quest for the Over Manga cast. We must find the most throwable child in all of manga.
But yes, it turns out the crime that Zoro committed was Helmeppo was wandering around town with his dogs that he does not keep on a leash, and they were going to attack the little girl. And Zoro defended her by striking down the dog.
I'd say poor dog, but it's more of a like weird cartoon coyote thing.
It looks like one of the werewolves from Red Hood.
Yeah,
Oh my god, you're right.
It was probably a werewolf.
Zoro did them a favor. But conveniently, because early One Piece does this a lot of people just wandering around yelling exposition. After Luffy hears
I need to be fair, early manga tends to do that.
Yeah.
It's like, hold on, let me give you some exposition. Got a good 10 minutes on here? Good.
Kakarot, let me inform you that you are also from the same planet I am.
And 2 more Saiyans will be coming in a year.
Aren't you dying? Yes, but I'm allowed to live for as long as exposition is needed.
Oh, God.
But
You don't have lungs. How are you talking?
very
Plot.
carefully, and with great skill. But yes, as luck would have it, as fate would have it, after Luffy hears this story about how Zoro got arrested, Helmeppo happens to be wandering down the street, cackling loudly as he forces all the people to bow. Otherwise, he'll tell Daddy! And it is so funny to make the peasants bow to me, just like how it's so funny I'm going to execute Roronoa Zoro in 3 days. I lied about the month deal.
I gotta
Right,
say,
literally no one, but apparently Zoro.
I gotta say, for a first stop on your journey to become king of the pirates, the island that is apparently 3 houses and a giant navy base was not a great first choice.
Luffy is like, hey, that dastardly lying about the promise you made to Zoro thing, is that true? Yes? Why would I keep a promise to that man? Punch!
Whoa, he just hit me. Daddy!
Daddy, the mean man punched me. Execute him.
I do appreciate how spoiled Helmeppo is, but then we get his conversation with his father, and I don't understand how that happened.
Why he thinks he has the authority
Yes.
he does.
I think it's just like, if I had to extrapolate, I think he actually hasn't come to the captain with all of his various complaints. He's just
no.
he,
His dad would immediately tell him that it's dumb.
he just knows that his father is a violent tyrant and has cowed everybody into submission, and so acts
The mere threat of it. Yeah, the mere threat of it has resulted in him never needing to actually go through with it until now.
Your daddy knows your game and thinks you're a little wimp. And honestly, if he didn't lay down with your mom, he probably would be like, I'm free.
I don't want to even think what Helmeppo's mother. That's
That's gotta be a whole entire can of worms.
He basically says that to his face, so he's just like, you don't understand. I'm stuck with you.
Yeah, but no, he comes up to his father's office and is like, Captain, Daddy, Captain, I need you to execute someone for me. There was a girl and she talked to the pirate. Whoa. You're saying someone broke my rules? So, no, Daddy, I took care of it. So you killed her. No, it was like a 5-year-old girl. What the hell, Dad? Oh, well, that's worthless. No one goes against me without dying. You, random mook, go kill that child. Sir,
I don't want to do that.
I'm sorry. Did you say you were just going to kill yourself then? No?
No, I don't want to kill the child.
It's weird how you're not picking either of the options I gave you. I'm just going to cut you in half. What?
Yeah, because Captain Axe Hand Morgan, he sure is a guy. He's got a big steel lower jaw. He's got an axe for a hand.
He's literally got an axe for a hand. Yes, and like the end of the handle goes past his elbow, but the skin follows it. I don't understand how his body works.
It's very grotesque.
Well, he's got like the elbow goes out to like the butt of the axe so that it's like a counterweight, but that's covered in skin. So
yeah, the fact that it's covered in skin is the part that I'm very confused about.
Helmeppo is like, Daddy, you're having your men put up this big like Saddam Hussein statue of you. Why are you not hunting down the man who punched me? It's like, why didn't you deal with it yourself? You're old enough to wipe your own ass. Now shut up. I'll slap the taste out of your mouth, and don't think I won't make 10 more look just like you and take you out of this world.
Daddy, I'm really concerned. You're only a captain in the Navy. How do you have the authority to funnel funds into a giant vanity project of a statue to yourself? That seems really ill-advised for a military organization to allow. We're not going to talk about that.
Was the first thing I thought of. He starts ranting and raving and going on so much about his highs that you're a fucking captain in the Navy. That's not very high. You're barely a commissioned officer.
Rank means everything in this world. I have the highest rank on this base, which makes me the god of this base and this island, and anyone who defies me will die.
Yeah, okay, sure, buddy.
Bro.
But Captain is, I guess, impressive, but like, it's not.
I struggled and fought and clawed my way to this position.
It's like one of the lowest commissioned officer positions there is. Like, it's a commissioned officer position. It's not nothing. But my dude, you're a number on a spreadsheet.
But right as he is about to get his big statue up, Luffy had gone back into the yard and was like, "Hey, Zoro, you ready to join my pirate crew?" I'm not joining your pirate crew. Really? Because that brat's gonna kill you in 3 days. He's not keeping to our deal? Well, screw it. I guess I'm just gonna kill everybody in the space then. Get me my swords. Okay, where are they? Probably in the base, and the sun knows where they are? I don't know. All right, let me see. Where is he? Oh, there's something going on up the roof. Let me just grab up there and boom!
I do like how when he says his swords, Luffy then kind of goes, yeah, I'm just going to hold on to him. And then when you decide to join my crew, you can have him.
Oh, yeah. Freaking savage Luffy.
Because Luffy's not a hero. Luffy is a pirate.
I love him so much. Look, I believe when I had been doing a bit of reading of this, I sent you a screenshot of this moment, Matt, and you were just like, yeah, this is Luffy's adventure. Everyone else is along for the ride.
Yep.
Fair.
But with the power of the Gum Gum Rocket, Luffy leaps up to the top of the base, but he put too much oomph into it, so he needs to reverse his momentum. So he grabs onto the ropes of the raising statue, which somehow splits the statue in half the waist. So
this was a very poorly designed statue.
Uh-huh.
I think he causes the ropes to come loose and it falls and cracks as it is hitting the ground.
Something like that, yeah. But it breaks so cleanly.
It shouldn't have cracked entirely down the middle for how freaking thick it is.
But hey, yeah, sorry about that. Hey, where's Zoro's swords? Kill him! Daddy, he's the one that punched me! Oh, hey, little brat's son, there you are. Come with me. And Luffy grabs him by the collar and drags him through the base like, so already you got Zoro's swords.
He's just ignoring everything that's going on right now.
I love Luffy so much.
Well, yeah, because Luffy doesn't actually care about fighting this captain. He cares about getting Zoro on a ship and getting off this island. Like, that's...
Yeah. If the captain gets in his way, that's the captain's problem.
He's like, oh man, this guy's a jerk. Well,
I guess I don't want to deal with him unless I have to, which again is a really good expression of the lesson he learned from Shanks in the bar all those years ago.
Kobe decided that he has an actual like moral problem with this captain as well. Luffy's just like, man, I can't let them take my new recruit like this before I even get him on my boat. And Kobe's just like, this guy's a tyrant and a disgrace to the Navy that I want to join. So yeah, screw him. I'm going to go free Zoro now. And I got shot.
I was really kind of hoping that his axe hand was also somehow a gun. It turns out that it was one of his subordinates that took the shot, but
and it really looks like Kobe got shot in the head from that panel. Next chapter, it's revealed he was shot in the shoulder, but
yeah, it's angled in such a way that it looks worse than it is, but I'm pretty sure I remembered this bit from the anime and knew he didn't die. Like his glasses go flying off.
I don't remember. I know 4Kids did something incredibly stupid.
It's the hammer gun.
They did the hammer gun.
Yeah.
Kobe gets taken hostage later. It's not yet, but that's where that's from.
It's also a really cool dialogue thing of Kobe going like, "No, Luffy, just let him shoot me. You need to go on fighting." And Luffy's like, "Yeah, that sounds like a great plan." Hey. By the way, Kobe means it. He'll let you shoot him. Like, he's not a hostage in this. This is not helping you at all.
Mm-hmm. But Luffy drags Helmeppo around, and it's like, the swords are in my room. Okay, and your room is over here, right? Oh, I think I hit you on too many door jams. He's unconscious now.
We passed it. It's all the way back there.
Why didn't you tell me earlier? Stop wasting time. Oh, come on, fine.
And then speaking of hostage situations, a bunch of the Navy personnel train rifles on Luffy. Okay, go ahead and shoot. Puts up Helmeppo as a human shield.
I love that. Why not shoot?
I love Luffy doesn't need a human shield for getting shot too.
He's just doing this out of spite. I love it.
He's doing it because he can. But he enters Helmeppo's room, and he's like, there's 3 swords here. I wonder which are Zoro's. I'll just take them all and see which ones he keeps.
I love how there's actually a 4th sword in the exact same shot. It's part of a wall decoration, but I feel like an easy joke would be Luffy like grabbing literally all of them.
Conveniently, right before the firing squad can shoot down Kobe and Zoro, Zoro, thinking he's about to die, has a backstory flashback.
Yeah, he has a backstory flashback, a really interesting backstory flashback. I say interesting mostly because of how it ends. Most of it is pretty standard stuff. I liked it. I liked where it was going. He flashes back to his village, and he has a rival who happens to be a girl his age. And she's lamenting the fact that gender norms and societal expectations.
I can't become a swordsman once I grow up, even though I can handily beat your ass now. And I am the strongest student in this dojo. Once I become a woman, I can't continue down this path. I'll need to give up the sword.
It's really sad.
And Zoro's like, that's dumb. You're like my best rival. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to have my best rival not be you doing sword stuff anymore.
I want to surpass you, not because you quit, but because I actually properly beat you.
Mm-hmm. I don't want to beat you because of sexist nonsense. Like, I want to actually win.
And then she fell down some stairs.
And then
she fell down some stairs.
No one in One Piece is really dead unless you're killed by stairs.
Wait, canonically, that's true?
I'm joking, but yeah, a lot of people in One Piece survive a lot more than falling downstairs.
It's one of those ones where, and I mean, like, just from what Matt's saying, I guess she doesn't come back. I wouldn't be shocked if there was something more to this.
Jacob, I don't want you to get the wrong idea about what I'm saying. It's complicated.
Okay. You know what? That makes me feel better. Because I mean, like, there's a part of me who's like, that happens sometimes. You have these big dreams, you have these big plans, and then just something unexpected happens. And that's, and that's the like natural, realistic fragility of life. We're following a rubber pirate. This is a shonen. They don't have not clean narratives like this. This isn't how these stories are built. It's weird.
Unfortunately, Zoro's entire backstory with I'm blanking on her name.
I think it was Kunia.
Kunia sounds right. But her entire thing is sometimes life's not fair.
Mm-hmm.
So her being weak, because her just naturally, like, she's going to go through puberty and will be weaker than Zoro. Like, that's just facts of it. And she's resigned herself to that, and that's not fair. You're right, it's not fair. And it's not fair that she had a life ahead of her, and I think it's also implied she's sickly. It's kind of weird. I don't really know what's going on with that bit. She dies falling downstairs, though. Which, cool.
Yeah.
It is aggressively abrupt.
So, yeah, it's a very short thing, which the anime draws it out a bit more, and I feel like this flashback is an entire episode of itself, basically.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a little better.
I wasn't sure if that was like there was anime only stuff, or if I thought there was a thing about Zoro, like why he does the 3 sword thing. Like he was just picking up that many swords.
So he has more flashbacks that happen later. That also kind of come back to this, but
I think the anime had some of the later flashbacks in this earlier section.
I think they also give more from her dad talking to Zoro, because I don't think he's mentioned much in this. But
yeah, I know the Master is a much more prominent character in the anime. It is strange how quick this is.
It definitely feels like, here's a sad backstory.
Yeah, not for nothing. There's a part of me who, like, I get why he's flashing back to his motivation in a moment where he thinks he's about to die cruelly and unfairly. I get it. But, like, I almost feel like that maybe this should have not been shown, so it could have breathed more later. There's a level of early installment weirdness here.
But thankfully, right as the firing squad shoots, Luffy...
Get down, Mr. President.
Luffy Gum rockets out of like a high story floor of this structure and zips down to position himself to take all of the shots.
He T-poses to assert dominance.
Yeah. Luffy is a very skinny man, and the way this is framed so we can see Zoro and Kobe's shocked faces means they're very much visible and not taking cover.
I love how whenever Luffy jumps in front of people to like take the blast for them, he always like crouches in on himself and makes himself as like small a target as possible so that he can explode out with the effect of getting like the bullets and everything. But he's so tiny, it just makes it look weird.
Like, what is he covering here? Zoro, every bit of Zoro's torso is still visible.
Conveniently, the marksman would have never shot either of them because he stood directly in between the two of them
and absorbed every bullet. But Luffy's rubber body catches all of the bullets, and he bounces them all back into the firing squad, laughing like a maniac. And you know what? Physics and positioning be damned, I love this page. Because Luffy is just so ecstatic of like, ha ha ha, bullets can't hurt me. Ha ha ha.
Luffy, bullets can hurt other people. I don't care.
Not me. I'm not other people. That sounds like their problem. I'm the king of the pirates.
This is, pure chaos.
So anyway, hey, Zoro, which one of these 3 swords are yours? All of them. What?
You were correct. Yes, all of them are mine. Thank you.
Untie me and I'll show you. I'm your new pirate.
It's a combination of Luffy's determination and also Zoro's either going to join Luffy and become an outlaw or die, and he knows which option he's willing to pick.
I just like how we have basically the entire first part of the next chapter is Luffy trying to untie Zoro while the naval officers are running in very slowly, swords drawn, and it's like, why don't you cut him free with the swords?
No. This makes perfect sense. The reason why they missed every single shot at the 2 people they were about to firing squad kill is because they were on the other side of the island. And thus it took them that long to run over with their swords.
This execution field they have is huge.
Look, you got a lot of people to execute. There are so many rebels who look at Axe Hand Morgan funny.
So many rebels on this island of 3 civilian houses and a Navy base, which actually, it's probably just Navy people he kills.
Luffy gets one arm untied, which is all Zoro needs. He gets handed his swords, cuts himself free, and then a sword in each hand and one in his mouth, blocks every incoming sword blow. Hate how much I love Zoro's 3-sword technique. It's so stupid, but I love it. How strong is his jaw?
Santorio.
How is he still talking?
Ventriloquism.
He's got a whole ass sword hilt clenched in his teeth and is saying, I'm gonna be the greatest swordsman in the world. I have left my destiny. Bro, how do your teeth not hurt?
I mean, I'm surprised he still appears to have a full set. I mean,
from what I understand of One Piece, teeth get knocked out a lot, and then everyone's got a full set of pearly whites immediately after.
Everyone is just sharks.
You gotta drink your milk.
Gotta drink your milk. Yes.
But yep, Luffy's
calcium for the skull and crossbones.
Luffy says, you're gonna be the world's greatest swordsman? Perfect. I'm gonna be king of the pirates. Anything less than the best swordsman in the world would make me look bad. So hey, duck, gum whip. And he does this big kick that knocks out all of the officers. These two are so cool for how very stupid both of their fighting styles are. Like, Luffy is just a Looney Tunes character, and Zoro, he's got a fucking sword in his mouth.
I mean, 100%. It's that confidence. Like, that's the reason why this works. They're no-selling all of this stupidity.
But they look so cool.
I love the scene with Axe Hand Morgan that comes up, where they're talking about like, okay, you got to kill that little girl. We're not going to do that. Okay, I want all of you to shoot yourselves in the head.
Yeah,
what?
Because the sailors are just like, sir, he's too strong. I don't know if we can fight these guys. So you're saying that you're defeatist cowards? No, I'm just saying that these are both exceptional enemies. I don't think that we grunts can defeat them.
Maybe as our captain, you should be fighting them.
All of you are letdowns. You will all shoot yourselves in the head.
And they all...
On my order.
They all put their rifles up against their head, which is like not in the way you would think. It's like you would hold a pistol, but they're rifles. So...
Yeah, they're all really awkwardly positioned as they are crying.
Oh, and then we hear Luffy and Zoro look over that way because there was a loud sound that the manga doesn't tell us what it is, but I assume gunfire. And because they didn't die on screen, you can only assume they lived.
Well, we see Luffy runs over and is like, hey, try putting me to death as he engages Morgan in battle. And
I guess we do see them reacting in surprise. Somebody has a gun to his head.
We see the next wave of guys who are going to be told to shoot themselves.
True. But Morgan's just like, you rankless nobody, I will destroy you. I am Captain Axe Hand Morgan. Nice to meet you. I'm Straw Hat Luffy.
He's got like the determined face with that line of dialogue.
But Luffy and Morgan fight for a bit, and the sailors are all like, holy crap, Morgan hasn't killed him yet, and he's gotten hit a few times. That's what's going on? And as Luffy is winning the fight, Helmeppo decides to actually grow a pair and do something for himself for once, and holds a gun to Kobe's head. Is like, you better stop punching my father right now, or I'm going to shoot this boy. And Kobe's like, man, you're a Luffy, kill him.
Oh, this is when this scene happens.
This is where the hammer gun comes from. You have seen, if you're listening to this podcast, you have seen one of the 4Kids edit compilations. This one is one of the ones that's front and center.
Mm-hmm.
There are two really famous ones.
Yeah, Kobe's like, Luffy, I just finish the job. I don't care. I have grown to become brave.
You're a good guy, Kobe. I'm going to proceed to not save you because you seem to have made your decision.
Mm-hmm.
You've got a complete character arc there, so you can die in peace.
But because Luffy trusts his crew, even when they joined literally 45 seconds ago, Luffy uses his Gum Gum pistol to knock out Helmeppo at the same time, like Morgan is looming over him. But he knows he'll be fine because Zoro cuts Captain Morgan down in one fell move. Nice work, Zoro. No sweat, Captain. God, I love that.
I love how both of the big bosses so far have been beaten in one punch.
Well, yeah, I mean, this right now, the mode that we're in is protagonist is powerful. Like we're establishing our protagonist as competent and strong.
And has met a person who is equally as strong as them. Like
Luffy's not quite Goku tier of like Dragon Ball Goku at the start of being hilariously invincible. Like there's still things that can technically harm him.
Well, the big difference is One Piece in the beginning takes itself a bit more seriously than Dragon Ball did at the beginning. Dragon Ball was a pure gag manga, whereas One Piece started off with a story and the potential of, like actually growing past its initial space. So Luffy is designed to be a bit more of a dynamic character than Goku was initially designed to be. But he's still a shonen protagonist, which means he has to be radically overqualified for everyone who is not a boss, not an arc boss, basically.
Going into chapter 7, the last chapter of our reading, we haven't mentioned much of the chapter covers. I really like this one because Luffy is painting the skull and crossbones on either a real bear or a statue of a bear. I'm not sure which.
I choose to believe it's an actual bear, and somehow he tricks this bear to hold absolutely still, and the bear is looking at him confounded.
I was going to say, the look of confusion on the bear's face says it's real, but that is one patient bear.
And
that's one patient bird too, because he's accidentally painted on the tail and butt of a poor bird who has no idea what's going on.
I know. And it leaves a part of the skull that's not painted on the bear, and it's so cute. I love it.
Oh, looking at it, I just noticed
the bread. It's the bread.
It's the bread.
Looking at it, I just noticed the bear and the bird that Luffy is painting are both like confused and placid, whereas there's a bird squawking at Zoro, even though he's asleep and not bothering them. Oh, that's that shonen protagonist power.
Indeed. But with Captain Morgan and Helmeppo both defeated, Zoro's like, so, any more of you mooks want to go around? Yes, the reign of terror is over! We're free! Woo! Bonsai!
Well, I gotta say, I thought working in the East Blue, we'd have a really low casualty rate. But yeah, with Axehand Morgan here, we were dying in numbers greater than if we were like in the middle of the Grand Line. Crazy.
It's like, okay, good. Fight's over. That's fine, because I haven't eaten for 9 days.
There go the organs.
Zoro just falls over.
Well, luckily, some little girl's family owes us a lot of money, and they run a restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
I love how Luffy and Zoro have a very reasonably sized meal.
Oh yeah. Like that is perfectly rational for what just happened. Even though we will see later, both of these men can eat an entire ship to starvation. But yes, after their victory meal, Luffy declares that they're heading for the Grand Line. And Kobe's like, okay, I know you just proved that you're like a super cool badass, but you understand that's suicide, right? Don't care.
You are a level 5 adventurer going for the final boss right now. That's a bad idea.
Don't care. Well, I understand that you don't care and that you're super confident, but you're my friend and I'm worried about you. It's not that I think you can't do it. I'm just worried. And Luffy's like, you know what? I appreciate that, man. Even though we're going our separate ways, we're going to stay friends. And then we see the very unique way that Luffy shows his friendship as...
Well, because the Navy shows up and they're just like, hey, you guys really saved us and we were thankful for that. Please leave. This is a Navy base.
You guys are pirates.
You guys are card-carrying pirates, loudly announcing that you're card-carrying pirates everywhere you go.
So
our gratitude is that we're not arresting you right now.
Yeah, we won't tell Navy Command you were here, but you need to leave now. All 3 of you. And then Luffy's like, I don't know who this fucking kid is.
Who's this wimp?
Oh, that kid? I know all about that kid. Oh, man, there's a whole thing.
He spent 2 years as the cabin boy and then Kobe socks Luffy in the face because they can't have anybody who has a piratical history in the Navy. So Kobe needs to hide his backstory as Alvida's cabin boy.
Yeah, and he's thinking, oh, man, Luffy's such an idiot. He's just blabbing, and now he's going to ruin my entire life. And I love the Navy captain who's just like, whoa. You two are clearly not friends.
Yep. As Kobe socks Luffy in the face and Luffy retaliates with a punch. And he's got this smug grin on his face the whole time.
Well, yeah, because Luffy, I mean, like, I kind of love this moment because it shows that, like, Luffy is a goofball and he just doesn't care about the world around him, but it's not that he's stupid. He just doesn't care about most things. He's more than capable of being clever, being intelligent. It's just, that's work. Why would I bother if I don't have to? But his friend needs a really good cover at this point, and the best way to do that is this clever I mean, not for nothing, he seems kind of proud of both Kobe for having the guts to punch him like that, but also that his little scheme is working. I'm doing some mischief right now.
But it ends up working. Kobe asks to join the Navy, and the leader of this squad is like, you know what? Welcome aboard.
We need more people. We have had weirdly high casualty rates for a very non-threatening area. How about that?
And then in one final show of solidarity, Kobe goes to salute Luffy and Zoro as they sail away, and the entire rest of the Navy base also salutes them.
Yeah, I do like there's a moment where Kobe is like, man, I am really weak because Luffy is still saving me even now.
I need to not be so helpless.
Which is a cool moment for him.
Mm-hmm.
And then we get to Kobe going to salute him. And it's one of those ones where it's like, the captain knew all along what both of them were doing, but like they have to, it's very much the case where like they have to go through the motions because, you know, if someone looks into it, if someone asks, there needs to be plausible deniability. Yeah.
And with his crew now doubled in size from 1 to 2, Luffy and Zoro set off on their adventure to find more crewmates and head to the Grand Line. And as the narration box says, neither of them realize they've made a serious mistake. But that's for later, because that brings us to the end of our rating.
As always, let's go around with what we do for every shonen. Favorite character, favorite fight. Sam, you want to start us off?
Sure. Luffy, he's so cool.
He's Monkey D. Luffy. He's going to be king of the pirates.
He's going to be king.
He's made of rubber. How did that happen? He is such an infectiously positive character. His sheer confidence, his amount of, nah, fuck you, this is what I'm doing. It's so good. I love this guy.
Luffy is 100% living the don't kill the part of you that's cringe, kill the part of you that cringes.
Mm-hmm. So it's, yeah, Monkey D. Luffy, favorite character. As for favorite fight, a lot of them are kind of just smackdowns, but I think Luffy versus Captain Morgan is my favorite because it shows a bit of strategy, some a longer battle than just one finishing move knockout blow. And God, Morgan is such a stupid enemy. he's such a, level 5 end of the first dungeon boss that it's kind of charming. Yeah, that's my favorite for character and battle. Matt, how about you?
Let's see. In our reading, Luffy's a hard pick to go against, but just to be different, I really like Kobe. Kobe's fun. He has a purpose to provide where he serves like the role of what a normal person looks like dealing with Luffy and Zoro, who are clearly above average, at least at this point. So it's crucial to One Piece to have that kind of viewpoint of someone looking into, wait, no, everything you're seeing is incredibly crazy, right? Like, we all saw this incredibly crazy thing that just happened, which kind of like grounds everything. Like when you said the whole thing, I think Jacob mentioned earlier, when his arm stretches at the very beginning, you're like, okay, this is just the art style. And then the crowd reacts, no, that was incredibly crazy, that thing that just happened in front of us. Favorite fight? Axe Hand Morgan's hard to top. That's a really good fight.
All right. Jay, how about you?
This is really difficult for me because I'm already partial, but it's just solidified. So I'd have to say favorite character would have to be Zoro because I'm a sucker for a man with swords.
Fair.
And
great.
Yeah, I know, right? Triple the fun. Favorite fight would have to be obviously when, again, Zoro. Handed it to him. So yeah, in a nutshell, favorite fight, favorite character, Zoro. Just yes.
Fantastic. And Jacob?
My first pick was Kobe because I like his character arc a lot. My second pick would have been Luffy, but there are 3 particularly standout characters in this section, and we have 4 hosts, so I really like Kobe's character arc. And like his narrative utility of being able to point out what is and isn't weird because we're not acclimated to this world yet is super valuable. But I also really like his character arc because in a lot of ways, there are parts of his character arc that feel like they're an evolution, a step forward of what were then shonen tropes at the time that a lot of shonen seems to have forgotten about because everyone keeps going back to the Dragon Ball well. Like, I like the idea that like he realizes I was saved. My story is very much not over yet because I am helpless right now, and that's not acceptable. And other little things of he has a lot of shonen tropes that are well worn, but done that one step further because we've seen that before. My favorite fight, the sort of problem with it is, like I mentioned before, we're at the proving that the main character is a badass point of the show. There aren't a lot of fights that are actual fights. So I guess my favorite fight is going to have to be Luffy versus Kobe.
That's a good fight.
Yeah, it's a fight.
Yeah, so joke answer as that might sound, it legitimately is because I really like that the amount of character for Luffy in it in particular, because the fact that he does this so quickly and the grins on his face the entire time that he's doing it, really showing that he knows full well what he's doing. It's like he's not really 10 steps ahead of everybody because like the new Navy guy in command of the base immediately sees through it, but like he has this sort of like, haha, I'm doing a mischief, this is a clever plan sort of like reaction to it all. Like he's so
bunny ass.
Yeah, he's got that Bugs Bunny energy. He's so proud of himself, and it's a good character moment for Kobe, and it also shows off more of the maybe not so totally stock standard. Stock shonen protagonist TM is a complete moron. In some ways, kind of similar to Goku in that he's smarter than you think he is. He just chooses not to be smart most of the time.
Yeah, Luffy's a very interesting main character in that regard. So would you continue reading? You know what? I already have consumed One Piece past this point, and I'm eager to see more. God, I love Luffy so much. I want to see more of his shenanigans. What other chaos can he cause? I'm sure we will find out soon. Matt, how about you? Wait, you're already caught up. So, poor question. Jay.
Could I read less? I'd like some hours of my life back.
Jay.
At least for as long as I held on to the franchise until I dropped it, I did consume for slightly beyond what we read today. So I will hang on for Zoro, and that is about it.
Sticking around for your Blorbo, that's fair. And Jacob.
If it was just purely on me having read these 7 chapters, it would be a solid maybe. One thing that we haven't mentioned yet is I kind of felt like the humor wasn't quite on point yet. There were a lot of jokes that were basically just non sequiturs. Isn't that funny? I know that at the very least the anime doesn't do that One Piece's humor is better than that. It really does feel like it's a new series, we're still finding our footing at this moment. And I know that One Piece is gigantic and it deserves it. On just these 7 chapters, if this was a brand new series and we were up to date, it would be a solid maybe. I'm definitely intrigued by this main character. Zoro seems pretty cool. The setting is interesting and unique. But I can feel the growing pains of a new series, knowing that it's freaking One Piece, man. Of course, I'd continue reading on its reputation alone. The only reason that I haven't read again is because it is 1,000 freaking chapters. I want to read this so badly. It's just so much.
Yes, that is the commitment of One Piece.
You freaking marry the thing.
And of course, thank you everybody once again for listening to the Over Manga Cast. You can find us on all of your social medias where we are at Over Manga Cast.
We are also on YouTube where you can like, comment, and subscribe. Our episodes go up there on a 2-week delay. So if you want something more up to date, we have overmangacast.com. That also has a place where you can comment on individual episodes, give us recommendations, tell us what you think, yell at us for our bad takes and the mistakes that we make or don't make throughout all of our episodes.
And as always, we appreciate reviews in any and all forms, or if you just want to reach out, give us recommendations, say hi. You can reach us over mangacast@gmail.com. We've gotten quite a few recommendations through that lately, still sorting through. Believe it or not, we all have other things to do than this podcast, so it takes us a little bit of time to get back to people on that, but when we do, we do. And you know what, guys, I gotta say, I love One Piece so much. I don't think we've read enough. So, we're going to do a 2-parter. Ha-ha!
Yeah!
Next week, we're reading more One Piece. Chapters 8 through 21. Yayo, yayo.
Yo! We'll see you next Thursday, mateys.
Aye.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone.
Arr.
Okay, I really, we got to figure this out, because I think, even with the next reading, we're only going to read, 0.5% of all of One Piece.
I know, but,
Guys, why do we mention Hiroaka? Now people are just going to want us to read that, and we have so much to catch up on. Okay, is this still recording?
Shut it off! Shut it off!
Turn it off!